You're lying. Yeah, okay.
Utterly ridiculous that they keep memeing that. But we are about to get into our second semifinal. NRG beating Envious last night, trying themselves here against Astralis, and I have a feeling this is a much different beast than the wounded Envious right now.
We are kicking off on Dust2. We should have an incredible performance here against Envious, but I think you're absolutely right. Astralis won't be going down in the same fashion. We have got Train in the mix as well. I'm not sure NRG are going to be able to step up on that map. It will be a similar affair to what we saw in Hobble against Envious yesterday. That was about 16-3, and they need to win Dust2 here to have any chance. So you feel like that has to happen.
Well, it was Dust2 that they did beat Envious on in the first map yesterday. Mirage is third. That's the one that they won the series on in overtime. It's not Cobble in the middle, thankfully, for NRG. It's Train, though, like you say, which is equally as fearful, I would say.
Yeah.
Very tactical map, and it's Astralis that's quite good on that map as well. So we'll start it off, though, Dust2 into the pistol round, and once again, a light buy in terms of armor for NRG.
They've got 3 sets, and then they've got 2 utility players as well. Gobby and Legia with the smoke grenades, and actually heading up to a heavy B set, but Cajun B straight up towards middle, of course. 3 players actually in that area as well. Silent towards long by himself, trying to cause some sort of presence there. But it's going to be NRG just holding up strong in the B tunnels. They don't want to commit to anything just yet, but Cajun B's got all the way towards suicide right now.
Ridiculous.
Making its way through, and this could actually be a huge downfall for NRG. There it is. Lovely little headshot there. And now NRG have no option now but to force into the B-bomb site.
And the smoke out device will make that call. Cajun should have the full confidence to rotate around. No, he won't be confronted by anyone else. He's going to do exactly that. Good nade stack, though. That's one way to deal with a man in the back of the site. That's why they go with 2 utility players. Dupree, he's caught on to 2, though. And immediately they push through. They try to make up the difference. I'll give them credit where credit is due for the effort on the... Well, I mean, it's not often you see a nade stack like that from the T side, so, you know, I like the creativity, but it's all Astralis otherwise.
Yeah, of course. They go for that aggressive play towards middle, pushing off short, pushing up towards mid. Cajun B getting all the way to suicide, takes down Silent in the long doors there. And like I said, once they lost that map control, they had no choice but to stack towards B before the rotations came in. And Cajun B applying the pressure once again, straight up middle, of course. Finds the first kill with the MP9, looking for 2 here. Should be falling back at this stage, but he's going to staying alive. He goes down. This round could get interesting because Legia has found a device, and he does drop. Carrigan now equalizing the situation. There it is. Dupree gets the man advantage in favor of Astralis.
Luckily, it was the MP9 that device, or rather, excuse me, the Cajun did go down with, but as you say, 2 kills. Justin back towards spawn. Quiet in the first 2 games of our series yesterday, but was the man of the match by far on Mirage. It's going to be all closed out, though, by Astralis. Dupree and Carrigan. No kills for Zipix, who is running the lovely UMP.
So the things with Astralis, you saw this yesterday, right? They're so aggressive against the teams they feel more confident against in terms of skill. Cajun B straight up towards the top of the middle there, and I'm sure we'll see that time and time again until it starts to get locked down. Looking like they're going for more of it this time. Dupree boosted up towards short, and Cajun B to top of middle, straight again with the same weapon, same scenario. Once more kills here. The device actually picks up 2 in towards lower B. He's going for his 3rd, gets it as well, drops the bomb, and Cajun B not dying this time, finds the first frag, and it's going to be Dupree that helps him out. Very simple round. And not a single kill salvage for NRG there. So 3-0 before it feels like the game's even started. Very quick succession. Orbs coming out now for Cajun B, and we have goal for Silent as well.
Not exactly the Jaden round, because they've bought into it with a double ops, so they aren't sticking with the SMGs. Silent's got one in turn. Remember, Silent T-side op, Legia CT side op. That's the setup that they run.
We saw Cajun B going back to his AWP and Dust2 yesterday. Obviously, we say this isn't a traditional setup for them. It's Device that normally rolls with the AWP, and it's quite unusual to see a double AWP come out in the first gun round, but they're going straight in with it. Device towards B, and the T so far a little bit shaken by that aggression they saw in the first 3 rounds. Going to be holding back and just slowly but surely clearing out towards mid. Legia holding the upper B tunnels, and Justin holding towards long. They're going to be going for some mid control here, presumably towards Catwalk, where Zipex will be waiting for them. Tabton spots out towards mid, but no presence there whatsoever from the CT so far.
Try and work around the corner. Zipix gets flashed off. Drops early. Nade out, though. That's going to do damage onto at least Gobby. It does. 81 remains for him. Pretty standard. Dust2 is explosive in the way that it's played lately with this gathering in middle to try and figure out which wing you want to approach.
I was looking at their favouring towards Catwalk right now, but Cajun B is ready in his face car position right now. Doesn't seem to miss a trick when he's in that position. Gobby just waiting in front of the smoke right now. I'd assume some sort of execution being set up here. Tapson is there with the bomb as well. Legia just holding up EB tunnels, while Carrigan actually is deciding to push. First pick coming, Silent opens it up, takes down Device, and it's 5-4.
It took him a while yesterday in the Dust 2-half when they played Terrorists to get the early picks. But when he got them silent, they often won the round. It'll be interesting to see if that'll be the case here. Like, he is going to take down Kerrigan, who, having lost his second man in the B site, decided to try and take the fight.
It's a save.
And that way he wouldn't get pinched in, but it is a save. So they force back, I wouldn't say force, but they bought fully into this round. They get away from the SMGs early, and they have to save on this one. It will allow them to buy for one more.
Well, there it
NRG's going to get one round. Buying one more still has the same effect. They still have that reset potential.
Yeah, absolutely. But Silent, he was great at opening up the map consistently across the series yesterday against Envious, and he does it once again. It's going to be Gobi that drops first, but Silent walking out towards middle. Very slow approach there. They were aware that Astralis potentially don't have much presence towards middle. He walks out, faces towards window, very patient. He waits for Device to have a look. Takes him down, that opens it up. And then Kerrigan tries to react with that other B take, but Legear is just waiting for it. It's just a case of NRG being very patient there, knowing how Astralis play, and just working into those weaknesses. Get those first 2 picks, and Astralis opting out of the round there. So they do have enough to buy into this. You can see Kerrigan still has 7k. A similar story for Device as well. He could get double off if he wanted to. Going to be opting for the rifle this time. We talk about him being the main AWPer these days, but as I said, against these lesser teams, they're more than happy to allow themselves to run that old setup occasion B with the AWP towards the A-bomb side.
Silent over toward B with the op immediately. Good little bunny hop to try and give himself position. Wants the early pick, but won't find it this time. And this is the mixed setup that we saw. Remember, we talked about how Device and Dupree had switched over toward A.
Yeah.
Kerrigan and Cajun B had gone back into B, but Cajun seems to be the one that's going to be wielding the op at car. Back to tradition, with the difference being Dupree at long, not Kerrigan to anchor. And I think the reason for this, if this is where they like to go, if this is how they stay, remember yesterday it was not exactly the toughest opposition either, but I think it's because Device is just so damn good in that B site that if they can get someone that's more dynamic in Dupree versus Kerrigan, then
Yes.
Cajun might be a little bit more comfortable still on this A site.
It's more of the same so far from NRG, just slowing things down. They have got the shortcut, going up for the shots on towards A as well. Cajun B does fire, but Dupree finds a kill onto Justin towards long. That's an aggressive take from him. The bomb's still down towards outside those long doors. And now the Terrorist trying to readjust himself, trying to find a pick. Kerrigan getting in close towards middle. And they're going to be smoked out for now. Not really many options. Going to have to slow it right down. 45 seconds remain. Silent is seeing if he can find a pick towards long, but he's smoked out as well. Now going to have to commit towards the A side, it seems, but the CTs are adjusting themselves. Zipex towards CT spawn. And Cajun B, here he goes. He's going to be the man of the moment here. Will he have the opportunity to go for the shots as they cross?
Well, the first smoke's out. Second down towards spawn. There is Zipex is fully blinded, spotted, but turns. How does he hit Gobi inside of that smoke? Pure reactions. The Spidey senses tingle, and now Cajun B is going to get flashed off. Has to fall further back down long. It's Silent that's going to get caught out. Nearly turns back in time, but like, yeah, only managing a few kills there. That was impressive from Zipex.
Yeah, just getting completely suppressed there, the T's. And like he said, through the smoke, Zipex with a sensational kill. Opens things up for Astralis, and then Cajun B doesn't really have to get involved. A fast flank coming in from Device with the rifle. Comes in and gets the easy spray down. And all the man is kicking off in the A side. So that's broken the economy of NRG. They're going to be on pistols here. Partial buy with the Tech 9s and armor. Have got smoke grenades. 3 of them, in fact. So looking like, I would say, a B split coming in potentially, but Device is towards lower B. Look at his first kill, and it looks like he'll get it as well. Easy shot coming in onto tabs in there to open things up.
Easy.
I felt like I was actually going to drop that accidentally. It was inside me. I retained it.
Well, this is the reset we talked about, so it is the Tech 9s, and it looks like they might get away with this. Justin picks up one on Dupree, who I thought was going to save Device. Instead, Device composes himself to find one more. Alone in B goes down. 5-1 now. And it's still not great money, but they'll be able to buy into this. 57.50 for Silent, and that's the AWP player, so I imagine he'll go immediately toward that.
Yeah, Godbees is opting to the CZ, and utility play here has got head armor, of course, but the gear is stuck on a Deagle, so it's still a difficult situation for them. And we have got that double all set up back out once again. And it's going to be Device facing towards the top of the middle. No one committed towards B whatsoever for NRG. Going to be holding out, waiting for anyone pushing up towards the top of the middle. It's going to have no map control here. Kind of had to act fast. You know there's aggression coming in from the CTs pretty much every single round.
Great. Crossfire established with Cajun, but he's fading away on that first flash, and there's no trade as Justin gets the kill with the AK.
He thought he had the kill dead to rights there, but Cajun B, to sort the situation out, does miss the first shot, but he has got information, and he's boosted onto the bomb site now. Device is trying to hold middle and keep them locked in towards A. Oh, lovely shot there to take down Gold B.
Another one from Cajun B, so both ops getting them back into the round. Astralis. Zipic's going to play toward elevator. They saw that boost. Device is going to watch down toward long on the off angle in case they head toward the platform. Tabson slow on Catwalk. May just catch off Cajun, who wasn't quite expecting him to be so soon and so far forward on the stairwell. A little bit of a misplay, but look at Kerrigan. Look at this timing. The old school Brightwater, and it's going to have 2 to fire away. That's a little bit awkward as Legia stepped at the right time, but still works out for Kerrigan. And now it's all on Tabson again, 1 versus 3.
Indeed, Kerrigan's so good at pushing those flanks, getting into those B tunnels and completely destroying them. And the long doors there, but 3-on-1, Tabson does not have the bomb and not many options as well. 3 players to find and 15 seconds remain. You feel like you will just be saving at this point. Maybe dropping down towards CD Spawn can sense something there by the seams of things. But this round is over. 8 seconds remain and he'll just be trying to save his gun there. So Kerrigan saves the day after KGB got taken down towards short.
Good shot by Tabson though to get one more at the end, just drop a gun. Got an AWP picked up, but it's Zipix to find him at the very last second. 6:50 left for him. Having that happen, dying after the round, that's a problem.
That's a massive problem. They were going to be an eco anyway, but he definitely can't join in, and it's going to affect his money going forward as well. So Tech9's, CZ's, and a PT50 currently 6-1 in favor of Astralis. This is looking pretty grim. Also, NRG won that first gun round. We go into round number 8 now. Once again, holding outside towards the long doors. We have got Legia in towards lower B. Device fancies his chances in that area. Will be pushing through and, of course, finds the first shot. Taking down Legia, and that's the 5-on-4 obtained. And he's got the information now. They're on an eco as well. Dupree's waiting on that smoke. He could have a massive spray down opportunity here.
Oh, yeah. 1 easily. 2. He actually passes by 1 in between. How is he still alive? How does he stay alive with the USP there? Cajun's going to get the other, but... All right, Dupree. Nifty work.
Indeed. It obviously was against a very small purchase from NRG, but still impressive all the same. But round number 9, no warped. Silent was, once again, the only round they won was down to Silent's pick, but he hasn't done anything since that. That's actually a common trend yesterday. He's on 1 for 7, and about that AWP, he's back on towards the AK-47. A change of play now. KGB boosted up towards short, going for an aggressive play here. NRG, once again, not really having any presence towards any part of the map, apart from outside long. Cajun will be pushing off towards short. Look at this first pick. Device still towards lower B. First kill obtained onto God B from Cajun. Falling back now, they can actually justify falling back to the bomb sites, but Cajun and Dupree are not done just yet. Dupree finds that first kill towards the long doors, and now it's a 5-on-3. There is one player in the form of Silent making his way up towards A, but this is an absolute bloodbath here. Justin does something here, but it's going to be another 1-on-1 situation, and NRG looking a little bit lost here, not finding the frags they need.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, this is the worst case scenario in that start. Now remember, it is T side. You can build back into this. Problem is, not exactly keeping the economy super honest on the Astralis side. Dupree's limited, but it's 2 rounds in hand minimum. Double op setup, and the 2 AWP players, by the way, both have 10K. And Device getting aggressive once more. They've kept track of this economy on the other side very well because they know it's pistols. Devices push the doors every single time. Molotov on the corner too, just to make sure that they can't go anywhere while Dupree tries to push them.
Yeah, Dupree's looking very comfortable towards his long doors now. All 5 players towards the top and middle. Dupree's made it into the long doors. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for a full-on push here. He's feeling in the zone. It's looking like, once again, NRG will make their way towards short. They've got a smoke and a couple of flashbangs. Maybe drop down to spawn and see if they can
smoke and a flashbang.
KGB. That incendiary will slow them down. He's going to clear up there.
Zipix is there, though. This is where he shines. But Cajun, looking away at the wrong time, nearly gets caught out. He turns back and gets a second kill on that. And now Zipix will come into the fold. Bomb, unfortunately, flung forward toward the depths of CT spawn. They've given up long now because Cajun's been caught by Justin. Which does give some movement to NRG, but that doesn't. Hello, Kerrigan.
Once again, just pushing all over the map. Kerrigan, the third on the side right now, and Device finds the final kill. 9 plays 1 now. It was another partial buy coming in from NRG, but unable to do much with it. So we go into it. Round number 11, they do have tons of cash this time. AWP has been picked up for Silent, as I mentioned before. The only reason they got that first round was down to his pick. He needs to find more of those if they want to have any sort of chance in this. Dust2 is their map, and they had a great showing versus Envious, and actually took this off them yesterday. So far, not really the same deal as we enter round number 11. Going to be going for the long take. Actually got control of this as well. They've pushed Dupree back towards the A site, but CT's going to be aware. You'd assume there'll be some sort of reaction coming in from them now. Kerrigan has been pushing consistently towards those B tunnels. This time he will be leaving B completely open. Bomb's still down outside the long doors, but they've got Silent in towards the pit. It sets them up for a really nice A split potential. Keep the AWP in the pit. CT's on the bomb site, and it means you have full control when you go towards short of actually finding the frag.
Through the smoke, Xyp9x does take decent damage, but tabseN, although just better, comes out fairly similar in that exchange. Double smoke mid, crossfire set. karrigan down below the doorway, and Cajun boosted toward the corner on an obtuse angle. It's not one you commonly would check, and that's why they're trying to spot when tabseN goes down toward middle. He won't spot him there. The flash comes out, and Goppy's going to take down the booster. Xyp9x, but a good shot from Cajun.
Lovely shot from Cajun there. The man advantage still lies with NRG though, but that shot should do it. That should do it, I should say, as karrigan takes him down. That's the bomb planted as well. And now 3-on-3. It's a difficult situation for NRG. They haven't really got control, but Legia has made his way into the B bomb site. karrigan's going to be dropped as well. That's the shot they needed. Now a real chance to take this round.
Silent needs to spot dupreeh on cross. They won't do it, but it's only one of the two players. They don't have the information yet. Cajun from a distance from CT above the smoke finds Legia. And it's dupreeh that has a chance at this now. Quick little drop of the Molotov. Didn't quite make it all the way over the box, but it does cover off the corner, so the bomb plant has to be done toward the double stack. And tabseN with 3 HP has to get away from that position. Thankfully, the smoke's there to allow him to do so. Silent nearly spots the jumping player, dupreeh, outside of the door. Watch the flank, though. Cajun's found time, found space. Remember, the extra 5 on the bomb allows for this type of rotations, and they haven't even considered this possibility just yet. tabseN's so low that if Silent, doesn't get that shot, it's a huge problem. dupreeh's got the first. Silent trades it back. It's a 1 versus 1. He goes to the pistol. Not even going to attempt the no-scope. He's just going to try and buy time. He's going to try and dance, and he's going to do it correctly. Silent again on the clutch.
Wow. That's actually the second round he's actually got any kills. And once again, he's the one that saves the day. Finds the orb shot and the PT50 kill to finish things off as well. A 2v1 situation. It was a ballsy move to pull out that pistol, but he pulls it off. And they get their second round on the board there, courtesy of Silence. So 9 plays 2 now. Need to be very careful. Coming down to a 1v1 situation. The money will be reset. They don't win this round. Astralis back on the double orb setup as well. Going to set up 3 players from the moment start. And a pretty traditional setup for NRG. Once again, 4 players towards the top of the middle. Legia and B with karrigan. You can see he's waiting to make his way in towards B tunnels. Wants that first frag.
Still have the 3-man setup toward mid, but Device finds Legia. Not a bad position to have him in. karrigan can now anchor off on tunnels. Device can put his attention out toward mid. Gives Xyp9x the chance to fall back slightly into CT and wait for the swing. All good for Astralis. Xyp9x seems to have an inkling that it's going to be toward middle, having seen a flashbang pop through those doors.
Well, 5-on-4. Legia has been the man who's dropped. They're going to be making their way up towards short once again. Cajun, of course, poised and ready on the A-bombs, the AWP. Looking for anyone to walk into his crosshairs. Just using the utility to slow them down, buy some time. karrigan's still just dancing around that smoke towards the B tunnel, just aware this will be a very real risk for them. Corby now trying to work out whether they can actually make some progress onto the A site. Xyp9x and CZ Spawn is hearing out for the footsteps. So tabseN's made its way out towards the middle with the bomb as well. So this is more of a fake play. Cajun gets the first kill, but it's down to Device now. Can he capitalize there? Of course he can. Takes down tabseN.
Silent does get the response, though. Remember, Silent gets a kill. They seem to win the round. It's going to be a lot harder this time, though, because karrigan's taking down Justin, and it's just Silent remaining. Nifty little Foon maneuver to try and get through the door, but karrigan's going to hold on.
Yeah, that's a hard reset, though. So only $1,400 coming into their accounts this time. So NRG, after winning a very close situation in the round before, 1v1 means they have to fully invest into this round, and they don't really have much footing into this one. No one really purchasing much. Corby's got a CZ and body armor. There's some PT50s and Deagles, but karrigan's ready. He wants the spray down, going towards top of middle. Spots one. He's committed now. Can he make anything of this?
Get one, nearly lines up the second. It's the pistol to take down tabseN. Now that's 2 gone and 2 weak. Silent, though, has come back around. He's got 2 quick kills from the pistol. It's down to 3 versus 2. Make it 2 versus 2 as Legia eventually gets there in the end with the Deagle refacing, though. Not advised against karrigan. Awkward for Astralis, but they steal the round away. Gun's still not necessarily in the income right now for NRG, so they pretty much have to play for the 15th round, which means we're looking at best case 12. I mean, okay, obviously ruling out Eco, but in the plans 12-3.
Well, they do well to win this Eco. Then you've got Tech 9 and CZ and a couple of sets of body armor. This looks like another B split potentially coming in. They actually maybe go for a B rush here. karrigan, and he keeps stepping up here.
Silent's just going to anchor middle for anyone that rotates or tries to push through long. karrigan inside the site, though. He's overwhelmed. The flash comes in. It's the Tech 9 kill, and Device is outside of the wall. The fortress has been overrun. flashbang over, and Zipix has to wait a little bit longer. Goppy did go down low. They find Silent, though. He was the one lurking, trying to catch them off, and Dupree spotted at least one player going toward the tunnels. He'll make that call. He may actually get pinched right now because Zipix is going to come in through lower at the exact same time. Surely they'll be able to put him down. That's exactly what's going to happen, and now tunnel's a possibility. It has to pull back some of the NRG players. Still, though, a 3 versus 3, and tabseN does well. They try and fight through. It's ingenuity to try and get through the doorway. It works out because it's now down to the one-on-one. They had to do something. They had to force the issue, and the bomb is ticking quickly. Zipix is going to have to force this issue. Oh, Goppy's picked up the op. He's going to get away with it.
There it is. The eco prevails somehow. It was Carrigan in the B side that got overrun. Couldn't find a single kill though. There was some clever retake play coming in from Astralis. You saw Zipex fire his AK off once just to keep the distraction for Greer and low B, and then they found the kill from Dupree there, but Goppy keeping his cool in the clutch situation. 1 versus 1, had the AWP in hand. Not an ideal weapon to walk through the smoke with, but it works out. We go to the final round. And the NOA boost coming in towards the mid doors. Something we don't see too often these days, but it works every now and then. It does prevail this time. Device does take down Greer. 5 and 4. Terrorists have got control along. Justin behind the blue bin. Silent trying to help him out. And now left Justin stranded in the smoke, and he's such low HP as well. Dupree probably not going to be aware just now, but that's a kill given away. And it's going to be a 5 on 3.
So without the guns, pick up that third round. With them, they may not. Zipix closing out onto Silence. 1 versus 4 yesterday. This time it would be 1 versus 5 and looking less and less likely. Yeah, not likely at all. Dupree gets in behind him. So 12-3 the halftime score. NRG not getting much done on the T side, but remember, as Duncan pointed out, Pug sides, T sides, not ideal. However, on Dust yesterday, they did do a little bit better.
Oh yeah, they looked a lot more convincing. They were making frags, and it was Silent that was kind of carrying them through all those opening picks. There's a similar storyline here. He had a very quiet game, to be fair, in terms of the amount of kills he got, but the actual rounds they did achieve was through his opening rounds, kills, AWP play from him, and the clutch he got later on in the half. Is there anything I can really report in terms of the way they got the rounds on the board? But here we go, second half comes in. 4 sets of armor for NRG. Greer with 2 flashbangs and a defuse kit. I assume they're going to be boosting forward short and trying to show some sort of aggression here. Goppy and tabseN more with those 2 players going up. They're going to be facing straight away, but Dupree is waiting for them. And there is players coming from lower B as well.
It's tabseN. Wants to try and walk around. Goppy that's going to get forward first, though. Legia's going to cover off on the doorway. Crossfire set, and Goppy's going to find the kill on the Kerrigan. Dinked up immediately after, though, Goochrather, as he has to fall back.
Well, this is the chance now for Astralis to team up and go straight towards middle. It seems Dupree just trying to take that kill down towards short. And now actually opting back to out of middle. They did push Silent all the way back to the B site, and CTs don't have much control whatsoever of the A site. Just going to be tabseN there. He's got the Silence USP, needs to find his opening frag if they have any chance of retaking this. Can't allow himself to go down, and Astralis is toying them right now, just trying to keep them guessing, and they've got no grenades. They go onto the side, so you can find that first frag.
Nice tries, but tabseN is the one to go down instead at Zipix. And now opening up the A site, they've got it full control. As KGB is going to go back down catwalk. If he can hold this, they can plant toward him. If not, they might have to reconsider their options, but it's planted, it's done, and he just needs to secure the kill. He'll do exactly that. Goppy low HP, no chance against the burst fire. And now it's Justin following in the footsteps. Does do better damage on his device, but KGB's still at that stairwell.
He has got the kit, so if he was to find a couple of kills here, it's possible, but it's not meant to be. Dupree finds a final kill there, and Goppy did have an opportunity to do something with that. He did find the first frag, but got taken down very low HP. He went for the backstab through middle, and KGB, like you said, with that burst fire prevails. So 13 plays 3 now, and I think the NRG don't have any choice but to force back into this. They need this round. They can't allow it to go 3-0. Match point obtained, or map point, I should say. So 5-7s, P250s, and a CZ on towards tabseN. And we've got a scout on towards Device as well. That's holding back. They don't want to throw this round away. They know they can get themselves in touching distance of closing this game out very soon, as long as they don't give this one in favour of NRG. So no real stack coming in. You can see 2 players towards B. Got B towards short. And just Greer towards long. But Astralis now slowly but surely grouping up. Looks like they may be favouring towards mid. Flash through will come through momentarily. And they'll have a lot of face out.
Ooh, good dink on the Cajun, though.
I would have preferred them to flash that before facing, but...
How many times, rather, has tabseN done significant damage or had a massive impact with that CZ yesterday?
Yeah, it was a lot of times, especially in those mid doors as well. He was crazy.
Well, Justin, either way, wait it out in B and see if this split's going to be successful because Thompson's still in the way of it. But he has to get taken down this time by Zippix, and now it's all on Silent, and Justin, Silent with a peek, damage, and another dink. They've got both, and they've got the bomb, just barely getting one away. It's Justin that makes it into the tunnels to grab the scout, but he tries to reface, and Dupree catches him.
I think he hits Dupree as well. He's going to come up to Ligia. I think,
Spotted.
Yeah, I think they spotted him. And they've got control of the bomb site. Just working together now. It would take an absolute miracle of a shot to actually open this one up. He does spot the player towards the back of the site, but he's going to be out of time now and out of luck as Astralis do pick up round number 17. 14 plays 3. You feel like NRG have to force into this round as well. They can't allow it to go to 15 plays 3. They won't have any chance going forward and trying to get 12 rounds in a row. So, Force Bite does come in. CZ's 2 scouts. What do you feel, Matt? Are you believing?
I believe.
Yeah?
I believe.
That's all I need to know.
I believe in the magic.
There we go. It's opening. It's happening.
Device down to 34 on that tag. Cajun down to 28 on that tag. 2 scouts, 2 damages. The pistols can finish them up from there, but it's Kerrigan who's going to find Tapson refaced and doubly so as 3 players were out toward long, and Gabi gets a lovely little headshot. But Zippix doesn't want any more of that.
Well, they have got the man advantage. Like you said, 2 players are pretty low. The pistols would take them down. Silent and Ligia, the 2 scout players, remain with Justin. And Dupree has snuck in towards the B side. Oh, what a shot, though, from Justin. That gives them a little bit more of a chance here in round number 18. He still hasn't managed to obtain a weapon, but they are going to be aware of position.
Justin on the side of the site is found by Device. The scout goes the other way.
Well, that's going to be the round pretty much tied up. Ligia had to do something with that push and then they were to find Zippix, who's just holding towards the top of middle. And now Silent, 3-on-1. I wouldn't say it's impossible. They are pretty low. If he can find his first one, there it is, through the door. Now it's a 2-on-1. This guy is known for his clutches, especially 4-on-1s. So let's see what he can do with this.
It's possible with the HP as it lie. Problem is,
This Zippix going to get taken down.
yeah, well, yes, but they're so split up that the bomb is going to go into the B site. 25 seconds, it's not coming back to A. So Zippix just needs to hold Silent here. But an AK to hold on to, it's worthy. Oh, no, Silent, that's not how it's done. He nearly gets walled down in that corner. He's going to go back to the scout, go for the no-scope. It's a desperate play. Bomb's planted on B in the meantime. And unfortunately, he missed his opportunity.
The shot that looked so lined up for him. Almost impossible to miss at that range, and somehow just whiffs it. And we're going into potentially the last round here of Dust2. Of course, 3 scouts now coming out for NRG. And Max 7 on Gobi. I feel like this might be all she wrote for this one. And they're going to be pushing up through the smoke as well. Ligia trying to do what he can. He will be flashed off. But 15 plays 3 now. 5 AKs for Astralis. And Kerrigan wants to finish things quickly as he walks into his B site.
Walking in confidently as well. Justin, second at the doorway. Ligia, third in middle. Silent from Device, but now it's going to be to get back into him with the shotgun, at least getting some salvation in this. But Astralis inside of the B site with bomb going down and AK's poised toward the doorway, looking to wrap this up. Tapson will do what he can again. It's the CZ. He's got it down to a 1 versus 2, picks up a shotgun. He'll happily switch that out for an AK. First opportunity that he does get. No kit. Keep in mind.
Yeah, well, the bomb is ticking away as well. We have got Zippix and Cajun B. No one towards the tunnels right now, both committed towards the side. The flashbang goes over, and he might be able to find his first kill, you know, not meant to be. 16 plays 3. Astralis looking incredibly strong. They're not dropping a single round on the second half, and looked very, very strong indeed on the first. So NRG not really stepping up to the same sort of caliber we saw against Envious, but Astralis seem like they're ready for this semi-final.
They certainly do. Very convincing fashion, and 16-3, not really able to get much going at all on the CT side. NRG struggling in throughout, and again, I mean, Silent did have some impact, but it was all Tapson getting kills. None of them really could find openings that were sustainable.
There was no consistency in the impact, right? So it was just like 1 every 6 rounds they'd find an opening kill, and they could capitalize on it 3 times, but ultimately 1 actually really putting too much pressure onto Astralis. There was no crazy clutch moments or big retakes that had to happen. They were just finding the frags that they were executed onto the site, working together, decent crossfires, and it's just a textbook Astralis performance on Dust2.
Well, it's like I always say in that situation. It was brutal, savage, and wrecked. We're going to go to a commercial, and then the analyst desk will be right back.
NRG Gaming Bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Hallelujah. Praise Jesus. Praise him, Yanko. Praise him. What was that?
16-3, a scoreline quite once. What is?
It's your mic. It's your mic. You know? Hello?
Something's wrong with Parla's mic. It's
Yeah, stop. Go away.
all
Go away.
staticky.
Go
If
away.
We could have
We
someone
can
fix
do it,
please.
We can do it by ourselves.
Okay.
Jesus
so
Christ.
16-3, Parla. It was
I
very
mean,
dominating.
Listen,
win.
Parla's doing to our ears what Astralis did to NRG just
Exactly.
now.
It was less painful hearing that than seeing what happened. Actually, it wasn't painful at all. I enjoyed it, but.
Considering I'm not a sound technician, it would be great if someone could come and help
Okay.
fix out parts.
Yeah, could someone come and help fix his mic, please? So in the
It's all
meantime,
right, guys. I can host from here.
Oh, let's
So what
do
did
it.
you guys think about that game? Pretty one-sided overall?
Yeah, obviously very one-sided. I mean, it's actually, that game was more reminiscent of the, yeah, I'm trying to talk here, mate. That was actually more reminiscent of the Cobblestone game, if you remember.
It's like you're...
In the Cobblestone game of Envious against NRG, they had a dominating CT half. We saw that NRG didn't have very good T-side tactics. And so, basically, the guys from NRG struggled, and they couldn't ever get into the game, which is actually what Envious had managed to do to them on Dust2 initially, but then obviously Envious didn't have any kind of a T-side. Now, in this particular game, Astralis could have probably won even by a more extravagant scoreline. You saw, like, quite early on, they were so far ahead. They didn't ever have to really respect the NRG guys. I mean, one of the NRG rounds came purely just from winning like a 1v2 in fairly unlikely circumstances with an AWP pistol. So I actually think NRG got off fairly lightly here, even with this dominating performance. Astralis looked like they could do whatever they wanted. You're kind of right about KGB's the master of that position. He played the classic position he always plays. And this time, they weren't able to get in. They weren't able to do anything to him. And he was very, very good from that position. We might have Parla back now. Is he?
I don't want to hurt your ears in case it pops again. It seems to be
Are
okay.
you back now, mate?
And
Okay.
that's just pure luck. I literally unplugged it and plugged it back in. And of course, Yanko mixed the sound fantastically as he's been doing the whole show. I'm sure you may. Please continue with your point.
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt. I will get back involved after you've
Right,
made
okay.
this point.
What did you think then, Yanko? Because it was mainly just a CT side, basically. It wasn't all a T side.
It was pretty obvious. You know, there's not much you can say about that game because Astralis just dominated it. You know, throughout the half, throughout the game, throughout the map. Kerrigan was actually the one who was, you know, leading the scoreboard for quite some time. It doesn't have, you know, it's just Sipnix was bottom frame, but mostly because he didn't see any action.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, there's only so many frags you can get in a game, right? And you could see how when with that early aggression, teams struggle against it. You know, underdog teams. We could see that Astralis was basically playing something similar to what Fnatic does at times, just pushing towards catwalk, pushing towards mid, and so on. And basically, they came here to play. They were on point, and yeah, it was a clear game.
I mean, that's an example there of when you do know that you're that much better than the opponent and you're winning. This is what the European teams do that the North American teams don't do. Is that when they have that lead, North American teams might play loose, but they'll play like a throwaway manner. The European teams play. When we say the disrespect style, we don't just mean you play like an idiot and you just run out there and let them kill you. You're still trying to dominate them, but that's the key thing. You're not just trying to beat them. You're trying to utterly crush them and dominate them. So now they don't even want to set up for the attack here. They don't want to push into that area because you're not even going to respect a smoke or anything like that. You're just going to push out, you're going to try and kill them. And you see, unfortunately, the teams that do get intimidated by that, that's what Virtus.pro used to famously do to everyone, they're the ones who not only get beaten, but they really do crumble, and they might get 3 or 4 rounds, whereas otherwise, they might have gotten the 8 or 9 rounds and been more in the game, but you crush them psychologically, and then the rest of the game follows from there.
I mean, there was almost nothing to see there by NRG, which suggests that they could potentially match up against Astralis. It was their map pick, and it was an absolutely dominating performance by Astralis. Can we really expect to see much of a defense on this next map? It's unlikely, and at least from my perspective, what do you guys think? Because it's going to be a map which Astralis are potentially even better on.
Yeah, and also the guys from NRG, remember, because they have a stand-in, it's like I've mentioned already, Cobblestone and Train are the two where if I'm the in-game leader, it's a nightmare if I have to take a stand-in for those maps, especially if it's my AWPer. Like, that takes away a key aspect of my game already there. That's why Liggy is using the AWP on the side here, because his main AWPer's gone. PTR's the guy who was going to be picking it up otherwise. So I see this as being a very bad map for them going in. Not only that, they don't even have that many kind of positive signs from the first map, because I said, to win Dust2, one thing they needed was everyone from yesterday, basically. So who was the guy who was the dominator on Dust2? It was Tabson. He was having a very weak game in this one, which is what you should expect. Remember, he's just a stand-in. I don't blame him if he has poor performance at all. It's not his team he plays with. He's playing some of the best teams in the world, envious Astralis. Already good enough to me that he had the very good Dust2 yesterday. You can't expect 2 of them in a row, and against a much better Dust2 team. So he had a very poor game there. I don't expect him to get like 2 frags or whatever he had for most of that game. He'll probably frag better. I would imagine they'll get some rounds on the Train game, because on CT, everyone can at least play basic defaults and you can get some rounds, but it's going to be real hard on T-side on Train, I think.
I think the most kills on that map for NRG was 10, and that was on silent, and so it goes to show that no one on that team was able to create those frags, create the opportunities to make those kills. On Train, do you think it could be any different, Yanko? I mean, there could be an opportunity if they hold steadfast on the CT side, if they get off to a good start on pistols, maybe.
I think it can be different. I think Astralis could win with an even bigger margin, basically, because we were talking about it in the pregame as well. Like, the maps, you know, you want to play as a maybe mixed team. You know, the easier maps are probably Dust2, Mirage on the T side. They're pretty straightforward, pretty simple to play. They just got crushed on T side, T side Dust2. You know, how